Greetings, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Now, if you are someone who likes to use LaTeX almost in a daily basis, then this video is going to be very much helpful to you. I promise you that. So, if you are someone who's working on machine learning project or in research related project, then LaTeX keyword is very familiar to you because most often we use LaTeX to write our academic paper, specifically journal paper, conference paper, or this kind of academic stuff. And in that regard, the very popular one right now is Overleaf, the one that I have opened here for you. So Overleaf is very popular among us, and it offers a free version and the premium version. And for most of the people who are watching this video right now, the free version is more than enough, right? And you might not face that you have any need to pay for the paid subscription plan, as everything goes well smoothly in your part by using the just their free tier. But let me tell you one thing. After you have used a lot of stuff in Overleaf, you will face a lot of issues in your next project, maybe. For example, if you are using a lot of images, or let's say the image has a very good quality and you want to maintain that quality, then it will take a lot of time to render, and in some cases it will fail the rendering process and it will tell you to purchase their paid plan. Most importantly, another thing you will face, and that is, even though you want to collaborate with someone, you are not getting the option to do that smoothly enough because it is prompting you again and again that you can't do that anymore and you have to pay for it. And yeah, there are a lot of stuff. But in our case, specifically in my case, the most disturbing issue I was facing is that uh, all right. So before proceeding there, let me tell you one thing. I use Overleaf for a lot of things. In fact, I write my resume or CV, my research paper, all my academic stuff, even any formal documents, I use Overleaf. So what happens? The rendering time becomes longer after a while and it becomes painful. Now, yeah, I know that I'm a machine learning engineer and software engineer. So I would normally do this kind of stuff in my local machine, right? So I have installed the LaTeX and I did everything, set up my environment and did everything, and I was using my local environment. And if this sounds new to you, then don't worry. I have some resources on how you can do that in your local machine as well, and I will make sure to link that up in the video description and in the up above any corner around somewhere so you can check it out. So coming to the point, so even though I was using LaTeX in almost every platform I currently own, in Windows, in Linux based Ubuntu and Arch Linux, and in my Mac OS. Sometimes it becomes more disturbing because in local machine you have to do a lot of stuff. You have to install a lot of packages manually, and in some cases you might see that even though it works perfectly fine in Overleaf, you are facing a lot of issues in your local environment and those sort of stuff. So I was looking for alternatives. So yeah, but surprisingly enough, I have found out that Overleaf also provides us a community edition, and you can run it for free in your local machine and do everything that you can do in Overleaf. By everything, don't take this seriously because you can't do everything. I mean, the sharing kind of stuff, that's not for free because they provide a paid plan for that. But the thing is, you can simply run that thing in your Docker in any local machine, whether you are using Windows, whether you are using Linux-based operating system, or you are using Mac OS. You can simply set up the configuration and fire up a container in your Docker, and you can do all of your writing in your local machine. And therefore, you don't even need to worry about the compiler time, compilation time. I mean, yeah, compilation time, and you don't need to worry about the image quality. Like, hey, I I want to ensure the proper quality of the image, but if I want to attach it, the rendering will fail because I'm using the free tier. You don't need to worry about that at all because everything is happening inside your local machine. All right. So I have talked enough, I guess. Now let's proceed how you can do that. So Overleaf gives you a nice thing, nice open source community edition, and we call it, I mean, not we call it, they call it Overleaf Toolkit. Simply search for Overleaf Toolkit, and here we go. It's in their GitHub repository. Okay, and they are updating it almost regularly. You can see that the last update has been done almost 2 months ago. All right, so they have the setup instructions and everything. All right, but I want to show you how you can do that in your machine. So currently I'm recording this video from my Windows operating system in my desktop workstation, but the same procedure is applicable whether you are using Windows like me right now, or Linux based operating system, or even macOS. All right, so you have to ensure that you have installed Docker properly in your machine beforehand. All right, so I'm assuming at this point that you have already installed Docker in your machine. Like for me, I have installed Docker desktop and I have configured I have configured everything that I need to make the Docker desktop running smoothly. And in Windows, even though I can run Docker directly inside my Windows OS natively, I like to run Docker in my WS. So I'm going to do that for now. So let's say I have opened my WSR terminal, and let me zoom in so that you can see clearly. So let's say, yeah, I'm gonna create a new directory, a temporary directory, just to show you how it works. But you don't need to create any extra directory if you want. So let me name it something like temp overlay. I have intentionally went with temp because I'm gonna delete it afterwards after recording the video. All right, and now I am now I am inside this directory. So what do I need to do? I need to simply clone it. Simply go through the documentation because their documentation is well written. And firstly, you need to clone this repository. So, and you need to go inside this, directory. You can do that, or you can simply clone it here. But I'm gonna simply, use this simple command directly. So I'm gonna simply copy paste and hit the enter key. So that's it. And now, what do I need to do? I have to go through a step by step. So firstly, I have cloned this repository locally, completely fine. Then they're instructing me to follow the quick start guide. So I'm now inside my quick start guide, and they're telling me that the Overleaf toolkit depends on the following programs: Bash or Docker. So I would also recommend you to use WSL if you're on Windows, so that every Bash command works just fine for you. Also, okay, so let's clone this Git repository to your machine. So we have already done that, so this step is already done. And next, let's move into this directory. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I'm inside that directory. Take a look around. Let's take a look at the structure of this repository. Here's one more thing I need to warn you about. So instead of directly copying like this, I would recommend you to copy like this, because you see this dollar command, it shouldn't go into your command, but they have added that to represent that it's a bash command. So if you simply copy it from here, it's gonna copy this dollar symbol also. So your command wouldn't work anyway. So I'm simply copying it and pasting it here. And you see, I'm seeing all the available files inside this directory and their permissions as well. Okay, and they're telling me that this will print something like this. Yep, it printed exactly those. So the readme.md file contains some useful information about the project, while the doc directory contains all of the documentation you will need to use the toolkit. The config directory will contain your own local configuration files, which we will create in just a moment, while the binary directory contains a collection of scripts that manage your Overleaf instance. Right. So the next part is to initialize the configuration. So we have to create a local configuration by running bin/init. That's it. So it finished copying the config files to that config directory. And if I want to check what I currently have inside this newly created config directory, you see that I have some three files. One of them is overleaf.rc, another one is variables.env, and the another one is version. So they're telling us what these files actually represent. So for example, overleaf.rc. So this is basically the main top level configuration file. And the next one is variables.env, which is basically environment variables loaded into the Docker container. And the last one is version. So it's actually the version of the Docker images to use. Now, what do I need to do? Selecting Overleaf Community Edition or Server Pro. By default, the Overleaf Toolkit uses the free Overleaf Community Edition. So Overleaf Server Pro is a commercial version of Overleaf with extra features and commercial support. You can see the enterprise level thing here. In case you are a Server Pro customer, blah, 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 but I'm not worrying about that because I'm not going to use their Pro version anyway. For me, the free community version is more than enough, so I'm going to follow that anyway. So starting up. The Overleaf Toolkit uses Docker Compose to manage the Overleaf Docker containers. The toolkit provides a set of scripts which wrap Docker Compose and take care of most of the details for you. So to start the Docker service, I have to use this command, which is bin/up, and that's it. So it's pulling all of the images from the internet, and it will do everything. So I'm simply gonna wait and let it finish its job. Don't do anything else. All right, so it seems it's already done. So let me see what else do I need to do right now. So they're telling us you should see some log output from the Docker containers indicating that the containers are running. That's fine. If you press Ctrl C at the terminal, the service will shut down obviously because the command will get quit. You can start them up again without attaching to the log output by running bin/start. So if I use bin/start without the earlier used command bin/up, so it will start without providing me the log output. All right, so that makes it cleaner, I guess. But in some cases, I might want to see the log to understand whether anything goes wrong. Okay. More generally, you can run bin/docker compose to control the Docker compose system directly if you find that the convenience scripts don't cover your use case. All right, I guess I'm currently fine with the default thing as it is. So now, what do I need to do? In our browser, I have to open this localhost/launchpad. Okay, so I'm simply opening that in my Brave browser. You can obviously use any browser you want, and you see, voila, this is Overleaf running inside a local instance, and it's completely free because it's depending on your local machine only. Okay, so let me give it a dummy email, I guess. So let's say a.a.com. Let me give it a random password. Let's say 1234 1234 register. Oops, password is too short. So let me name it something like my name, which is Fahim ABA123. I guess. So part of email address content. So let me, you know what? Let me give some gibberish like what is password is too short. Man, you gotta be kidding me. Let me do something crazy, right? Okay, now I need to log in. So a@a.com and the password. That's it. Okay, so WebSockets is running perfectly fine. Send a test email. I don't want that. Go to admin panel. Start using our vertical source. Let's go to the admin panel. Yeah, I can get system message, open socket, open close editor, discount call users, see operator. All right. Admin, manage site, manage users. Looks good. So here, welcome to our Overleaf instance. Create a new project. I can create a new project directly from here. And let me see whether I need to do anything else. Okay. In a browser, open this. You should see a form with email and password fields. Fill this in with the credentials you want to use as an admin account. Then click register. We have already done that. And then whenever we want to log in, we can simply go to localhost/login, enter the credentials, and we can do everything. All right. I guess we are done for now. So if I simply click on create a new project, wow, I can create a blank project. I can initiate an example project, or I can directly upload a project zip file that we can do directly in Overleaf. So this is pretty convenient if you ask me. So I'm gonna go with an example project. Let me name it something like example Fahim. Voila, it's this. So let me try to see whether I can change anything. So I'm gonna give it new page and recompile. Voila, it works. It freaking works. And the best thing about it is it's completely free, 100% free. And it's using your local machine. So the better configuration your machine has, the better output you are going to get. But obviously, if you are running it directly from the native Windows, you have to ensure that you have enough RAM because Docker itself takes a lot of RAM from directly Windows because it runs on WSL and yeah, hypervisor is the thing also. But here, you don't need to worry about installing anything manually that you need to do if you run LaTeX locally. All right, you can do everything that you can do in overleaf.com. You can do that here for free. If you want to install any new package, you can simply add new package like use package, let's say algorithm, and it should work. Didn't produce a period. Okay. All right, guys, I think I have done a terrible mistake here. So as this is running locally, if you want to use any other packages, this isn't gonna install automatically, I guess. So what we need to do, we might need to install the packages manually. So let me try one thing. So let's say I want to install this package algorithm inside of it, but you can see if I recompile, it doesn't work. So what I can do, there are multiple options if I'm not wrong. Firstly, we can simply use, Docker exec command. So I'm inside the directory where I have cloned the repository. Yeah, right now. So I can simply use like Docker exec -it overleaf toolkit. Let me check the container name because I'm not sure of the container name right now. Aha, you see that the current container name is Overleaf. So this would be Overleaf. Install. There we go. No such container Overleaf. Sorry, my bad. The container name is share LaTeX. Okay, so I can do this. Docker, let's say T share LaTeX TLMGR. So this TLMGR actually stands for Take Live Manager. So it's basically the official package manager for Takes Live, the LaTeX distribution that is used by Overleaf and most Linux-based systems. Okay, so then install and the package name, which is algorithm in our case. I see TLMGR itself needs to be updated. Please do this via either TLMGR update itself or by getting the latest update in your system. Uh-huh. So this actually means that our current Overleaf container stick light manager, which is TLMGR, is actually a bit outdated compared to the CTA and mirror we are connecting to. So before, I mean, it can install any package like algorithm or any other package, we need to update it. So how we can do that? We can run the command from our host, not from bash. I mean, inside the Docker. So I can simply do this Docker exec -it shall let it my container name and being bash. I'm inside my Overleaf container, you see. And now to update the tlmgr, what I can do, tlmgr update dash dash self. So it's done, and I can simply install this package inside this container. So tlmgr install algorithm. So even though we have updated the tlmgr, it is failing because algorithm not present in the repository. Okay, maybe we are doing something wrong. Let's try something like algorithms. I think it's yeah, it's installed, I guess. Yeah, it's currently installed. So I see that we might need to install some basic packages to start working on. Let me try to recompile it. So this will be algorithms. So I see that it's still missing some packages, so I can simply install it like lmgr install dot done. Let's try to recompile. Yeah, you see, it's freaking working. It's freaking working. So yeah, we need to do this. Uh, Even if you want to install any packages, you have to install the package inside the Docker. So what you need to do, you can either do like uh, docker exec /it name of your container tlmgr install the package name, and you can use install multiple packages altogether. But if you want to do that otherwise, like what I did, I simply entered into my Docker's bash and directly installed. You can do that here. So you have to install some popular packages, but I guess it would be helpful if I simply, create a script that will install all of the packages. I mean, all of the basic packages that we might need. So you don't need to install every single packages every now and then. Okay, I guess we can do that. So I'm gonna create a script, but don't worry, I'm gonna provide you that script anyway. And you can check the script from the video description box and you can utilize that as well. So let me do something like, and now I need to make this file executable. So chmod plus x and the name of the file with the extension. Okay, now if I want to run this, so start. Sorry, I forgot to use sudo. I guess I have missed an I in the script. So instead of showing installing, it is showing installing. I'm gonna fix it anyway. So we're gonna get the updated package. Don't worry about that. Okay, so I guess this actually works. Oh, so that's it for today basically. So here we have learned that we can install Overleaf Toolkit in a local machine and do almost everything that you might need in your local machine without even uh, worrying about the compilation time, the pricing, and so on. But there are some hassles, I would say, in terms of installing packages. For example, if you want to install anything in Overleaf, you can simply use package and the package name, and it does all of the installation process all by itself. So you didn't need to worry about anything at all there. But in this case, as you were running those locally, so it is highly likely that you need to install a lot of stuff which you don't have built in. So you need to install those manually. Other than that, everything works just fine. But there another website which is Crixet. Correct me if my pronunciation is wrong. And I recently found out about this in a Reddit post, and I also created an account. And it seems that the free account has a lot of stuff that can help us. And I have utilized the platform, obviously, and it felt good actually. The UI and UX, the haptic feedback, everything looks very cool. But I'm not sure whether the collaboration is actually possible like we do in Overleaf. I'm not so sure about that. And also, as please keep this in your mind that I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm doing this just to give you an informational idea what I came to know about those. All right. And as I just recently found out about this, you can check it out and let me know whether you like it or not. Other than that, you can simply utilize your Overleaf toolkit in your local machine and do almost everything you need to do. And I'm not so sure about the collaboration stuff. I don't think it's possible in the free tier, but even if it is, let me know and I will make sure to check that out and give another video. But let's say you don't have that feature right now. So what you can do, what we would normally do is that we can simply export to the zip file and we can share that with our team member, or we can also maintain a GitHub repository. So you can also do that if you want. And if anything, if any major update comes in the near future, please let me know and I'll make sure to cover that up for you too. So this is it for today. I hope you have learned something, and I'm extremely sorry that the video got longer, which shouldn't have, I guess. But you know that in many areas I have to do those things for the first time in my life. So I was also looking here and there just to figure out exactly what's happening and how to fix that. So maybe you have also got an idea how to do all kind of stuff if you're also new to any platform, I guess. So this is it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to follow me, you can do that in GitHub, GitLab, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I provide all of the links in the video's description down below. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.